Record on this computer. Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Zoom chat. It's Larissa Hahn here with you, Melanie Durham, and Randy O'Neill leading the way tonight. We're going to be doing, this is a part 2 of a 2-part series. Last week we went over triplex and our pain management. Tonight we're going to be going over weight loss products, energy products, multivitamins and omegas, and our flagship products, the breast check kit and the body cream. So I'm going to turn it over to Randy to cover that topic. Randy, I'm unmuting you, and take it away, Randy.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I'm Randy O'Neill. I'm a Senior Gold Ambassador. So I'm going to go over with you the products that Plexus began with. And I'm going to give you a little history with this because I always find it nice to know what the history of the products are and how they came about. So Plexus began in 2006 as a company that offered a low-end entry point breast examination kit. Plexus was purchased in 2008 by our current CEO, Tarl Robinson, and our former international president, Alfred Pedersen. At that point, the company was considered a startup, and the partners knew they had to introduce new products and promote strong growth. So they started in 2006, and then they acquired it in 2008. So the only product they had at the time was the breast check kit. And so why this is important, the ACS reports that 1 in 8 women in the United States will receive a breast cancer diagnosis in her lifetime. So 1 in 8. Plexus has encouraged these at-home checkups with the breast check kit. The product launched the company back in 2008. The breast check kit is Plexus's original product, and from the beginning of the company's purpose has always been to spread health and awareness and wellness, said Alec Clark, the president now of the Plexus Worldwide. Whether someone uses our kit or not, we just want to make sure we're encouraging others to be proactive in fighting this terrible disease any way we can, is what Alex says. So this is the breast check kit, right? I have an old packaging, but this is the kit. It is a silicone, latex-free, reusable, environmentally friendly, safe lubricant. So it has lubricant in the middle that's going to intensify the touch, right? So you will use this when you're laying down. You're going to lay it over the breast and massage like you would when you're doing a check. And it's going to magnify any of those little bumps that could be in your breast. And those are important to check because we're not getting them checked by our doctors as frequently anymore with the new laws and regulations for women self-checks. So this enhances that sensitivity so that you can feel them, right? The breast check kit was designed for women to perform monthly examinations and enhance breast awareness to help detect changes in their breasts. So this isn't just for women. So that's one of the things I want to discuss as well. Men are just as susceptible to breast cancer as women, so they need to be checked as well, and they're little down there too. So you can use this to magnify any touch to help with any topical or cancers, but you'll just lay it there and massage, right? So one of the other things I'm going to go over is it's called now the body cream, but it was called Dr. Spencer's breast cream, right? Breast cream. So let me tell you a little bit about the body cream. It's a unique skin renewing cream with spirulina algae and activated charcoal. Initial reports say that Plexus body cream has been found to revitalize the skin over the entire body of both men and women. So when it first started, breast cream, right? I wrote it down so that I wouldn't forget. I have it, anybody can do this. You have the right notes. All right. So the effective detoxifying action is promoted by the spirulina algae. Detoxifying action. This is what you put on topical. Plus the new addition of the activated charcoal to remove age-advancing toxins. Removing age-advancing toxins and impurities from the skin, right? We need that. These ingredients are carried into the skin's layers on a rich blend of aloe, sweet almond oil, grapeseed oil, evening primrose oil, lavender oil, and this one, rosé. I don't know how to say it, but the rosé oil. So this is, to me, like essential oils in a bottle. So all those little essential oils that you would mix up and do it yourself is just that much better because it has spirulina algae and the charcoal in it, and it makes it amazing. So I'm going to go over in a minute what I use for. Plexus Body is unique. I already read that. I got this off the internet, so some of these things. Okay, so features and benefits, right? So one of the things that I use it says it revitalizes the skin. So some of the ways I use this product is for dry skin, right? Dry elbows. Eczema for my daughter. She has dry spots on her skin. Psoriasis, I get psoriasis on the back of my head real bad. And so after I take a shower, I rub it on the affected area. I use it as a moisturizer for my face, right? A hair revitalizer. So this is one of the things that we learned, I don't know, a few months back, is to put this in your hair. I don't know what person decided to put it in their hair, but thank you. Put it in your hair. And on the breasts, I currently breastfeed. So I get thrush and mastitis quite often because I pump. And so it's not a latch, so I actually pump, and I'm susceptible to those things a lot more than other women. So I've actually been putting the breast cream on frequently to help get those toxins that create that out, right, topically. So I was not using it for the longest time, and now I do, so I'm going to use it a lot more because I haven't had mastitis in like 2 months. That's like a big deal for me. Okay, and your breasts are largely fatty tissues. They often become toxic. Your breasts will become toxic. Isn't that crazy? And then the body cream helps eliminate those toxins, right? I also use it on scars. I know I've got scars on my face. My kids got scars on their legs from scratching their legs up, doing whatever kids do. I don't know how many times I burnt myself. I burn my fingers a lot when I'm cooking, or like you're cooking something and it splashes in your, and you this is the first thing I run to for burns. I use it for my daughter, my 4-month-old, for her diaper rash cream, because I don't like diaper rash cream. Anyways, I've used it on all of my kids for hives, even the baby. She had hives a few months back. For whatever reason, I don't know where these hives came from. And the first thing my husband says to do, he goes and gets the body cream. I'm over here with Benadryl. So it's funny. Anyways, how men pick up on all this stuff. And it also has been, one of my girlfriends, her mom uses it for a dark spot that she had on her face. So she had this huge, and they thought it was like skin cancer or something, because it just kept getting darker and darker. So she used it for, I think, 6 months straight, just every day, 6 months, 2 to 3 applications a day. This spot on her face that they thought was like whatever that melanoma cancer is, and it went down, and the coloration of it is not so bad. So it is amazing what this can do. So that's what I have for the body cream. You can pretty much, anywhere you have skin or hair, you can use it, right? So I'm going to hand it over to who's next. Larissa. All right, Larissa. Well, I got everything in. Anybody, do we want to do questions now on either of you two? Just no? Okay.
Okay, let's see. Here's me. All right, here's me. All right, everyone. Hey, okay, so I'm going to be going over a few different products tonight. I've got the 96 protein, I've got the omegas, and I've got the blocks, Omega X, 96, and the block. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick screen share. And I'm just going to share with you my internet screen, I think. You don't want to see that. Hang on 1 second. What is this? It's not. I'm going to stop this share. Let me see if I can pull up. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. 1 second here. There we go. Okay. A thousand apologies. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to start off with the 96, and I just like looking at the labels first and foremost, because Plexus is loaded with so many, like each supplement is loaded with so many different things, great things. I'm going over 96 tonight for a number of reasons. I just did like a little experiment where I did like 6 days straight of meal replacements with this stuff. Let me stress to you guys, this is not a meal replacement product. I would not recommend this. I was just kind of, like I said, experimenting with it. And what I did with it was I used it as a base for some green smoothies mostly, and I would put in spinach and I would add some stuff to it. But I did that for like breakfast, lunch, and then I had a sensible meal. And I was challenging one of my other friends who does a different multi-level marketing thing, and I'm all, we can do just as much as this company. Hang on a second, what?
Cotton wants my food.
Cotton wants your food? Well, don't give it to him, okay? You say no, Cotton.
We like to.
Oh, you like to give it to him?
Yeah.
Well, that's up to you. All right. Okay, so here's what I like about the Plexus 96. It's under 100 calories, right? We call it 96 for a reason. On the label legally, they have to round up, so there's 100 calories on the label, but in fact, it's under 100 calories. I love that it's sort of each individual pack, so it's not this big container of protein that you have to like scoop into a bag and like prepare. You just grab it, go,
Mama,
and we're all set.
Mama,
What? No. Okay, so this is also.
Mommy.
What?
Can you sit with me?
I can't. You can sit with me though, okay? You gonna sit with me? Here, help mommy finish my meeting. Okay, it's a grass-fed whey protein, which is great. And the really beautiful thing about this, so it's got 15 grams of protein, and you can double the packs. Like there's some people who are like, I need more, 25 to 30 grams of protein. You can double up the protein and get that. But the thing that this is lacking that other proteins have is sort of pumped up protein because they put in added aminos. So amino acids are good and are really great if you're doing bodybuilding and stuff like that. But for the average person, you don't need a ton of amino acids. And so this is just a pure protein. So this is that pure grass-fed whey protein that we're getting, and it's loaded with vitamins. I mean, this has more vitamins in it than the X Factor, I swear. And no sugar. Okay, so this is sweetened with stevia, so we've got 0 grams of sugar. And then a really nice thing, if you guys look down here, is the sodium, and that's 30 milligrams of sodium. That's a very small amount of sodium. Now, sodium isn't inherently bad. However, if you have a sodium sensitivity, like our friend Melanie here, who has lupus, she cannot have loads and loads of sodium. So that is a real lifesaver for her, when she's on the go and wants something quick, easy, and light. And so she just goes to the 96 and good to go. This also has chromium in it, and chromium picolinate, which is also something that can help with weight loss. And that's different than the chromium that's found in the Slim. So what's in the Slim is not picolinate, it's picolinate or something different. But this does have chromium picolinate in it, which leads me to, actually, I'm just going to bounce over. Sorry,
Mama.
Block also has chromium in it, so we'll get there. But these are the omegas, Omega
Mommy.
X. What's sweetheart?
I said, funny thoughts and
Okay.
math.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Funny thoughts and bad thoughts.
Okay, go finish watching your show. Go. I'll be right there.
I pooped.
Okay, get out of here. Okay, so the Mega X is a plant-based omega, which is a beautiful thing. So when I was a kid, my dad would make me take different vitamins, and I remember he would make me take a fish oil vitamin. And the reason I knew it was fish oil was because, like, when I'm, like, at school, minding my own business, I burp, and I get this huge, like, fishy flavored burp from one of the vitamins that my dad would give me. So it was fish oil. It was disgusting. Zoe, enough, honey. No, stop.
Mama.
Hey, Melanie, do you want to take over from here? I'm going to unmute you. Do you want to take over from here and jump in?
Yes, I can.
Because Julius will be here anytime now. So I'm going to stop the screen share and we'll proceed. Sorry, you guys. Thanks for being flexible. Family business.
Okay, so I am going to let her handle omegas when she comes back because she has some interesting stuff going into that. I'm going to jump into what I'm covering, and that would be the accelerator, boost, edge, and X factor. So I'm going to start with X factor. I'm not fancy with screen sharing, so if you want to take notes, you can. But if you've never taken the X factor, it's like this. It's the green bottle, and it's green for many reasons. It's a pretty color. And number two, the X Factor actually includes aloe vera in it. And this is my empty bottle. I keep a tote. You guys are going to laugh at me, but I keep a tote of empty bottles, one of each, along with some other stuff, because couple of reasons. If I'm going to do something like this, I don't have to run to the kitchen and get my personal stash and then leave it somewhere and lose it. And I also like to have them on hand. So if I do any presentations or I visit someone, I can let them handle it and look at the labels themselves. But number three, I've actually kept on hand quite a few of the accelerator bottles, and here's why. If I'm going to give someone a sample or a couple days of samples, if I'm feeling really generous, or I can tell, like, if you have a weaning mom that's like weaning from breastfeeding, she needs accelerator. Like, her hormones are going to go raging crazy. And I have given so many of my mom friends who are weaning down 3 days worth of accelerator, and I just put it in one of my empty bottles so they have it. So anyways, so this is the X Factor. The capsule is clear, so you can see right through it. And the aloe vera, it's not liquid, it's freeze dried. So you don't have to worry about something that's going to spill or be weird. But if you actually take it, then the capsule breaks down, the aloe vera is released, and it's released with everything else. So because it's freeze-dried, is not going to all of a sudden release in your esophagus. It's not going to release in your chest. It's not going to release until that capsule barrier is broken in your stomach acid. So that's the cool thing. That's why a lot of people do not get upset stomachs when they take this multivitamin, because the aloe vera acts as a little bit of a buffer for easier digestion. I don't know if you guys have heard, if you want better digestion, a nice natural remedy is to drink aloe vera. Have you guys seen like the jugs of aloe vera? That's because it's real. It's not juice. It's like liquid, thick aloe vera. My grandmother, rest her soul, would drink like cups. I'm like, ooh, grandma, I can't. It's just, I couldn't do it. She's like, it's good for you. I would much rather take it like this. So on the label, it has a bunch of goodies, but what I want to point out to you is on all the labels, they have percent DV. That's your daily value. So, for example, when Larissa brought up the sodium for the 96, there's a package, right? On the side, she made a point about sodium because that's huge for someone like me with an autoimmune disease. So if you know anybody who has an autoimmune disease that wants a healthy snack or is watching their protein, 96 is perfect because the sodium is only 1% of your daily value. Now, someone like me, if I was to go and just pick up a protein from the store, I have seen as much as 40%. Like, I can't eat Chinese food, y'all. Like, there's way too much sodium in that. So pay attention to the daily value. And if you want to compare this multivitamin to one you've taken before, like you're going to be really amazed. I'm going to point out a couple things in here real quick. Number one, it lists folate, and folate is not folic acid. Folic acid is actually the synthetic form of folate. So if you have a mom or a prenatal or postnatal mom that's like, well, I need my folic acid, you're like, well, stop right there, girlfriend. Stop. You need folate. And unless you want to eat like enough spinach to fill your head 3 times, you're not going to do that. So point that out, because some people were told, get your folic acid, right? Good for the baby, good for you. And nobody says folate. I've never had an OB that said, take your folate. I don't even think they're like paid to say that. They're paid to say folic acid. So there's that. And then if you look on the label, I'm looking at online too, so I don't have to like squint. For the folate, it's 100% your daily value. So you don't have to take this and then something else. So as women, we're crazy. We have hormones going. Get this in your system too, and you'll feel better. Another one thing that I wanted to point out is the vitamin B6. For daily value, it's 500%. Now you're probably thinking, I only need 100%. Well, you don't, because our body naturally metabolizes and pees out vitamins. But if you're taking this, hopefully you're peeing clear. But so one thing you want to know about B6, a lot of people discount it. Oh, I'm just going to take a vitamin B complex. And I have a whole story on that. But you don't need to take a B complex when you have B6 in here. Here's why. B6 is known as one of the B complex vitamins. It plays an important role on converting your food into energy. So if you don't have enough B6 and you're trying to exercise or do good by your body or eat healthy and watch your proteins, if you don't have enough B6, you're not having something to help convert that food into energy. And therefore, you are not allowing that food to help the body metabolize the fats and proteins you're giving it. So you can eat your chicken 3 times a day. You can eat your steak. You can cut back on your carbs and skip potatoes. It doesn't matter. But if you don't have enough of B6 in your system to help that metabolize through mainly fats and proteins in your body, you're pretty much not doing it any good. Like, it just doesn't work. And B vitamins are huge. That's why they have B complexes as a pill itself out in the market, because it's good for your hair, your skin, your liver, your eyes. I was told by my perinatal specialist when we were starting to try to get pregnant again, you need to take a B vitamin complex. And it was this big capsule, and it had like B12, B6, and like it was a thing. But then I looked into it, and it had a lot of fillers in it. So I feel more confident with this, and so does my new doctor. And just on that note, B12 in here, 8,333% daily value. Who knew? 8,000. Why is that? I'm going to leave you to look that up and let you get excited about B12. So there's that for X Factor with Aloe. If anybody's like, I'm not sure what I should start with, I don't run to Triplex, because we all know sometimes a Triplex combo with 3 products can be a little complex. My go-to, I'm not kidding, is Slim and X Factor. Why? Because the aloe vera in this is going to help get the absorption of those vitamins and minerals and the Slim in their body to help their blood sugar and feel better. So this is why I really love the X Factor. One of the many reasons. And I'm sorry, but the nickname for it is Hair Factor, and there's so many reasons why. If you're regular on this, your nails grow in strong, your hair grows in strong. I just got my hair did, and I'm hoping it lets it stay before I have to go back and get it done again. But it's really, really great. For so many reasons, and they have the family chewable version. So just so you know, iron is naturally in this with the New Zealand black currant. And if you want to look up what New Zealand black currant with those little berries do, it's natural natural iron. And in the kids chewables, everything listed is 100%, except for vitamin D. It actually gives children 250%, which is huge. You guys, our kids don't spend enough time out in the sun, so they don't get enough vitamin D. So if this is giving them 250%, at least you know the few hours they're in school, they're getting some vitamin D in a healthy source. And then vitamin C, 330. So there's that for X Factor. I hope everybody's on their X Factor. That's all I'm going to say. So Edge. I'm really excited about Edge. And no, I'm not on an Edge right now. This is how I am all the time. So Edge, this little bottle, here, I'll show you in comparison to the X Factor. Like, it's a little bottle, this little guy. But this little guy is so exciting. On the label itself, it says, get energized, think sharp. That's no joke, you guys. I am energized and I think sharper. And I want to feel like I think like a superhero. Like, it makes me like, what's that? And I'm not like jittery and shaky, and I don't drink energy drinks, but I know how it feels to have like one of those diet rock stars. I thought I was cool in college having, I'm sorry, I got a phone call. And they're not really like, they're not really energy drinks, you know? So this is healthy, sustained energy, sharper thinking, enhances concentration and focus, and improves your mood. I actually take this as part of my pre-workout, and I have a better mood working out than I did without it, to put it that way. But I've also been more into my workout since moving. But you guys, like, I'm happy to run, and that never happens. So Just a few things about Edge. There was a huge training on it by Bibi Shadag. Shadag, I think I just said her last name wrong. She is an Emerald in Plexus. She is a registered nurse. She is a huge wealth of knowledge. I'm going to tell you a few things about the 3 ingredients really fast. Because it's brilliant how these are put together. It has theocrine, L-theanine, and Cafe Robusta. And that is a natural source of caffeine. She gives a whole, and I can find the clip on YouTube and share it with you guys if you message me, because it's like a really good, I took like 4 pages of notes, but don't worry, I'm going to condense it. The L-theanine allows caffeine to be absorbed. So there's a reason why that was put into it. It allows your body to absorb the caffeine instead of getting jittery, letting it go through your body, and then pee it out. It calms your body down first. So I don't know if y'all have tried Edge, but you actually feel calm for the first like 5-10 minutes when you take it. It's not instant. You all of a sudden don't take it and you're like, whoo, got my Edge, I got my shot. It's not like that. You get a calm. It's meant to do that. The body has to get used to it going through your body and getting it ready to be energized. And that's the way it works. So all ingredients together work synergistically. I can't talk. Together really well. And I swear, this is how I am. And so once the caffeine comes through, it's a higher potency with that Cafe Robusta. And if you've looked it up, which is kind of actually really cool, you will know that it's made from a certain plant, obviously, but it's a certain type, a sturdy species of coffee bean with very low acidity and a high bitterness. So when they take it, a regular coffee bean, it actually has low bitterness and a high acidity. That's why when they roast it and do different flavorings, it changes how acidic or how much it might burn your stomach or your throat. This is actually comes from the natural root of the plant versus taking off the bean and then using the bean. So that's that in like a very condensed version. It's a higher potency than processed roasted beans, and it allows it to stay in the body longer. So if you've taken an Edge, like my workouts for an hour, I don't just go, whoa, that was great, my Edge worked. Like I then come home and like scrub the toilet. It's really weird. And then I vacuum, and then I can run and pick up my son. Like it keeps me through the day. The other ingredient in it is the theocrine. I want to say, am I saying that right? And the theocrine is actually the binder that compresses it all together. So that actually helps you feel energized. So you have the calm, the caffeine, and then the longevity. So Edge is really cool, especially those people who want to like cut a big caffeine addiction to certain things, but they don't want to cut cold turkey. So the last but not least that I'm going to cover is the Boost and Accelerator. And I know that some of us have had experiences with both. And so everyone's going to have their own experience with these. And I have a bottle, not because I don't even know if we've ordered it, but like I have a bottle and then Accelerator. The main difference is this. Boost is a thermogenic. This will warm up your core from the inside. That's why a lot of people use this with Edge as a pre-workout to get the most out of their workout. Like we're talking like a 2-hour workout, you're really into it. These two work hand in hand perfectly. For me, I physically have not tried the Boost as a pre-workout because I still have Accelerator on hand. Accelerator is not a thermogenic, so it doesn't warm up your core the same, although it keeps you focused. So I have double focus. You can imagine me in class. My coach is like, there's crazy Melanie again. So really quick, the Accelerator is awesome. I call this my happy mom bottle. And here's why. 5-HTP. If we don't know what 5-HTP is, you got to look it up. It is a really, really great thing to have. Yerba mate is a leaf, and that's all natural. And when you have those two things together, mixed with again, you have B6. Remember I was talking about B6 earlier? This has 1,500% in it. So you can imagine what my body is like. Whew, it's like going great every day because this is helping you burn fat, not muscle. And then if you're putting that with your Accelerator or your X Factor, your B6 is going great. The other difference is, which I find interesting, is in this, they have folic acid, not folate, because of the blend. This is why, because I looked it up and I asked around and, I had to be inquisitive. Folic acid, we know is synthetic. In this is because the yerba mate is a natural leaf. And if you put two of those things together, apparently they don't work synergistically very well. So it's not going to hurt you, but if you're already taking your X Factor, you're fine. But the cool thing about this is to, again, B12. So if someone really isn't interested in like the X Factor, they're getting their Bs and helping them out, and the chromium. So Boost is more of like, okay, let's get thermogenics on. Let's do this for a workout. Although there are people who hit a plateau and they use Boost as their changeover in their weight loss. That's why these are under the weight loss products, because they're meant to be helping against that plateau. They are not meant to take long term. They're meant to take very short term, temporarily, to get you over that hump. And you never want to take these together, never in the same day. You can take them different days. Like you can be like, okay, my pink bottle is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and my red bottle is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But even then, you're not giving some consistency. That's just my own personal opinion. So just remember, they're not meant to work together because they kind of have different goals in mind. So that's what I have to cover, and I hope that helped you guys get an overall picture. So again, you have the X Factor in a capsule form and a chewable. You have the Edge, which is like a mighty, tiny little mighty thing. And then you have Boost and Accelerator, which I think is based on you and how you feel. So, and what works for you. Okay, Larissa, you can continue with your omegas.
Thank you. All right, I think I have reinforcements here, so fingers crossed. All right, so I just like to do screen share, so I'm just going to go back to sharing my screen. So I left off on the Mega X, and one of the things about the Mega X that I recently discovered, one of the things that's really interesting is the omega-3 blend. So my dog has cancer, for those of you who don't know. And so he has recently become a Plexus puppy. And so in doing my research for what the doctor was requiring through his chemotherapy, he wanted him on an omega-3 and he wanted him on an anti-inflammatory. And so I sent him the label for both the Mega X and for the Ease capsules, and he was stoked that there was turmeric in the Ease capsules, which we went over last week, but that is a great anti-inflammatory, so he signed up on the Ease capsules. And then he was mildly concerned about the Mega X because he really wanted to make sure that there was also DHA in there. So you can see here the omega-3 blend talks about ALA and SDA. I'm not going to go into what those things are, but they're really, really great. And they're very good for your brain and your heart and all kinds of other things. But there's a third thing called DHA, which is not on here. And so I emailed corporate and I asked them why we don't have DHA in our omega. Or I asked them if we had it. It was very interesting. Actually, I'll show the process just because it was like interesting. I emailed and I said, is there DHA in the Mega X? And they replied with, no, there is not. And I said, okay. And so I replied back. And so then I started, so I like doing my own research. All of this information, I am nobody special. I am just another Plexus ambassador who's done some research. I just like to go online, Google things. To me, research is like putting a puzzle together, and so I take little nuggets and then I make a picture. And so anyhow, I started doing some research about ALA and SDA, and one of the things that I found about ALA specifically is that it actually produces DHA. And so I emailed back and I said, is the reason why we don't have DHA in there because we have ALA in there? And they said, yes, it is. And so the one caveat, I suppose, with all that is that we don't have necessarily at least based on the research that I've done, a clear idea of quite how much DHA it's producing, but it is producing it. And you know, you can always add to it, I suppose, if you want to, but it is happening. And so I feel good and confident. I have not supplemented what I'm giving my dog, and I'm just kind of trusting this product because I do believe that the research has been done with these. And so with the Omega X, it is a plant-based omega. It is not fish oil, as I was talking about earlier. What it is made out of is a product called ahi flower, and ahi flower is a crop that grows in abundance in the UK. So London, Scotland, England, Scotland, all the UK, you're going to find this crop like growing, you know, in the countryside. The beautiful thing about ahi flower is that it is a complete omega. So you can see we've got the omega-3s, but we also have a 6 and 9, 5 and 7. So we have all the omegas that we need in one supplement, and it's also plant-based. And the unique thing about ahi flower, in addition to being a complete omega, it is more potent than chia, which is also a great source of omegas. But with chias, you want to make sure, I could be wrong, but I believe you want to like make sure like the casings are slightly cracked. So like I'll put them in a blender and kind of pulse them in a smoothie or something like that. Otherwise, you're not really even going to get anything out of them. So chia, and it's better than flax for omegas as far as plant-based. So on the one hand, you want to say, well, this is great, it's a plant-based thing, so great for vegetarians, right? The one thing that I will say is, if you look down here in other ingredients, gelatin is how they've capsuled, it's a gel cap. And so gelatin is actually made from animal byproducts, and so it is not technically a vegetarian product, but if you have a vegetarian that isn't like super rigid, they might be okay with something like that, and then in fact this is a good option for them. So you can always present that and let them know there is gelatin in the product, however it is a plant-based omega, and that might be appealing to them as well. And then lastly, I wanted to go over block. I went over the Omega X has been known to help with like heart health and helping lower cholesterol. It's great paired at night with the ProBio 5, and it really can help with improved sleep. So nighttime on the omegas is my rule, and that comes from Melanie, so maybe she can talk about that in a minute if she wants to add anything to that. And then last but not least is the Plexus Block. So the Plexus Block is a simple blend.
Some healthy food. Can I have one of these? And can I have one of these?
Just one.
Okay.
Up on nose, right? Okay. It's got 4 ingredients. We have chromium picolinate in it, as we discussed earlier, and then we have the brown seaweed blend and the white kidney bean. Oh, I'm sorry. There's only three primary ingredients. So the chromium again helps with weight loss, helps with curbing appetite. The brown seaweed blend is interesting because that is going to expand in your stomach, and that actually gives you a sense of fullness faster than, you know, if you didn't take this. You want to take the block just before a large meal. Anything, if you know you're going out for pasta, pop a block, people. Pop a block. Pop 2, actually. And it works immediately. So it used to be, old formula was you needed to wait 30 minutes. New formula is just remember to take it. And then there's the white kidney bean extract. The white kidney bean extract is what helps block those carbohydrates. And so it's blocking 48% of your carbohydrate and sugar absorption, right? So with that, not only is that great if you're trying to lose weight and trying to keep a high protein, low carbohydrate diet.
Zoe's candy, she doesn't mind if I throw her candy in the candy box.
Okay, all right, handle it.
Don't take any candy.
Okay, that sounds good.
I want to take one.
Okay, just one, okay, go. And then with the white kidney bean extract, yeah, if you're doing high protein, low carb, this can help. And I wouldn't say on a cheat day, we don't want to cheat necessarily, but you know, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where, hey, maybe you want some more carbohydrates, or maybe you're at a baby shower or some party and you're like, I'm just going to splurge a little bit. And it's quick acting, and so that's awesome. In addition, this is also very helpful if you have diabetes. So this pairs nicely with the Slim for diabetics because it blocks those carbohydrates, which ultimately become glucose and ultimately then increase your insulin levels. So Block is a great partner to the Slim in maintaining and managing your diabetes. One thing to keep in mind is this product contains naturally occurring iodine. And so if you have if somebody has an iodine sensitivity, you want to be very much aware that Block is probably not the best option for them. And so you can just be advised about that. And that's pretty much it. I think there's some action going on here in the chat. So have you guys heard of taking 1 block in the AM and 1 at bedtime? Okay, yes. I thank you for reminding me about that, Terry. Yes, that's something someone tried and it's spread like wildfire. Personally haven't done it because it can lower blood sugar too much. Cool, I just started a customer on that regimen. For some, it probably works great. For some, it does probably work great. And I'm so sorry, what? Last time.
I have, just for a quick insert while Larissa handles the kid, my mom and my dad are both type 2 diabetics. Their A1C numbers were well over 7 into the 8s. Their daily glucose levels were extremely high. Every morning, my stepmom and dad would have the highest fasting numbers. They would wake up and have too much sugar in their blood. So one of the things for them, since they're type 2 diabetic, is I was like, please just take 2 block at night and let me know. Do it for a week and see how you feel. Well, she was able to get off of and only take half now of her metformin, which is her drugs that help her lower her glucose levels. So she did, and then that was a few months back. Now she doesn't take metformin at all. So the block at night for her really helps. Now you have to watch, like Melanie was saying, it can lower your glucose levels too low. So when you wake up, you need to have something to burn. And if there's nothing there to burn, you're going to get sick. And so there's that healthy balance of when to take it, when not to take it. So just watch that. And then Larissa said with the naturally occurring iodine, if somebody tells you they have a hypothyroid, no. So, I mean, hyper. If they're hyperthyroid, no. Because the iodine is what is in our thyroid pill, and that can affect how your thyroid is produced. And that's one of the reasons why they say to talk to if you're a breastfeeding mom and want to take a pill, you need to, or take this because the iodine, it can pass through the breast milk, and they're still developing their thyroid. So that's how it can affect that. But I feel like my loophole is I pump, and so I can dilute that milk throughout 2 or 3 days, and just mix the bottles up. So, but that's just my personal testimony. And then I wanted to tell you guys, because we'd gone over the X Factor, I actually had that approved as my prenatal supplement. That and the Mega X, put those 2 together. That was my DHA supplement. Because that's what I found out was the ALA does transfer into DHA, so I take that. And then the X Factor was approved as my vitamin because it had folate and not folic acid. And then I was like, well, why is folate and folic acid so different for prenatal? Well, babies get tongue ties and lip ties. The folic acid is what causes that. It causes tendons to be tight in their mouth. And I was like, what? So the things you learn when you're breastfeeding, it's amazing. So, but those are just 2 of my experiences with X Factor, just for, being a new mom again.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
So I did do that for a while personally. The one thing, the one in the morning and the one at night, because I'm down to experiment with whatever. I don't ever really care. Like, sure, let's give it a go. See what happens. But what I found was it didn't really do much. I felt like less bloated, maybe. But as far as inches or pounds, nothing changed. It didn't go down. But it might work for other people. And again, everybody's body's different. Everybody's body responds to these products differently. So it's all, it's a lot of trial and error. So I wouldn't discourage it necessarily. I just didn't necessarily get much out of it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to unmute everyone. I'm going to say, do we want to stop recording here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.